Hey yo, it's Brian here. Today, gonna be talking about the San Francisco 49ers. As always, gonna be doing my edge-to-edge video against the New Orleans Saints happening this Sunday at New Orleans. Another away game for us in San Francisco, so we will not be playing in the Bay Area. We will be playing in New Orleans, so I'm assuming the 49ers, I think they're traveling to Youngstown, Ohio for a little bit, and then going to New Orleans. So that's a smart idea right there. Why go to San Francisco and then fly back to New Orleans with different time zones? But hey, I'm not an idiot. I'm pretty sure the 49ers are not a bunch of idiots either in the organization, so they're taking the same approach as they did with the Tampa Bay Bucks and Cincinnati Bengals. So very important matchup, NFC Titan, whatever you want to call it. This is for a lot of implications in the playoffs. We have to keep winning as much as possible because Seattle, they are right behind us, and this video is going to be made before the Monday night game against the Vikings, and I'm hoping the Minnesota Vikings win this game so we can still stay afloat in the top seed in the NFC. If not, then we will drop down to the 5 seed if Seattle wins this. So very important matchup tonight, but for us, we can only control what we can control, and we have a couple of games left. Hopefully we can win out the rest against the Saints, Falcons, Rams, and Seahawks in week 17. Still a tough road, no slouches here. Let's get this video started. A lot to talk about between positions, and yeah, let's just get this started. But before I do, please like and subscribe. That's going to help out a lot. Click that bell notification to get notified of future videos. Share the channel, share this content with fellow Niner faithfuls. Even if you're a New Orleans Saints fan, I encourage you to subscribe because I talk about this game all week long, and this should be a good matchup in the Superdome. 49ers versus Saints, who at the edge, position by position, talent for talent. Okay, let's talk about the most important position of all of football first. Quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, number 10, our boy in San Francisco, versus Drew Brees, number 9 in New Orleans. Who to go with for the edge? A little bit difficult in this season just because Jimmy Garoppolo, he can have very nice moments. He can have very good games, like the Cardinals twice, the Bengals games. Those were very impressive. But sometimes he can have some turnovers that just go crazy on you. I don't know, the Cardinals game as well, the second time they met up in San Francisco, that was pretty bad. But other than that, for the past couple of weeks against the Packers and now the Ravens, he hasn't thrown any interceptions, so that's really good. He's taking care of the ball even more, so that's good to hear. Hopefully he keeps that up even more for the game against the Saints this week and their tough defense. Brees, on the other hand, he's having a pretty good season, not really to the expectations that we're usually known to see him, but he was out for a couple of weeks due to an arm injury against the Rams week 2, and he did come back against the Cardinals a couple of weeks later. He's been having a pretty good season a little bit, but he did struggle against the Falcons, their division rival, who was 1-7 at that time, which was a big upset right there. That was one of the biggest upsets I've seen all year long. I know it's a division rival, but still, I mean, the Falcons, they were dead in the water, and they just got blown out by them in New Orleans, which is crazy to see that happen. But yeah, I don't know if I expect the 49ers to do that, but with the 49ers playing the way they've been playing, I wouldn't be surprised at all if the 49ers blew the Saints out. But hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully it's like the Ravens and Niners get that we saw on Sunday. So yeah, that's good right there. But anyways, if I did give the edge, I would probably give it to Drew Brees by a slight bit. I mean, his quarterback IQ is just off the charts. Accuracy, being able to thread the needle, being able to just throw it when you ever need to. I mean, Drew Brees, he's everything what you stand for. I know he's having a little bit of a downer just because of the injury and just a little bit of a downer of age, but at the same time, I still think he's a really reliable quarterback, and I love to have him any day of the week. Still love my boy Jimmy G, very talented quarterback, has a lot of upside, but for right now, for this matchup, I would give it to Brees by a slight bit, although he does have a tough test against our defense. Next up, running back position, who to go for this one? We have our boys Tevin Coleman, Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson somewhat, and Matt Breida. I don't know if he's going to be playing at all. We'll see what happens this Sunday, but I'm assuming he might be playing, but we don't know yet until this week, so I'll still put him in the equation for this edge-to-edge matchup. Next up, let's talk about the New Orleans Saints and their running back crew. Latavius Murray, Alvin Kamara, those guys, they run a running back by committee as well. They're really great at running the football for the most part, and they really help Drew Brees out. Definitely it's because of his age as well, so running the ball really helps quite a bit. So if I did give an edge, if I did give an edge for this one, I would actually slight bit give it to the New Orleans Saints. They've been really good all year for the most part. When Alvin Kamara went out, Latavius Murray, he's had great games. Both of them, when you put both of them in together, they've been great as well. And also, the 49ers run defense is a little bit suspect, to be honest with you. I know they've been really good against the pass, but against the run, they've been struggling just a little bit. I don't know. I just feel a little bit more with the Saints running back crew for this game in particular, and for talent. Although Coleman and Mostert, you can't go wrong with them. But for me, slight edge, I'm going to give it to the New Orleans Saints. And yeah, there you have it right there. Wide receiving position, I'm going to be talking about Deebo Samuel, Emmanuel Sanders, Kendrick Bourne, those guys, versus Michael Thomas, Ted Ginn Jr., those guys as well. Who to go for this one? Well, if you're talking about the best receiver in the game, I have to give it to Michael Thomas. He is just awesome. He is one of the best dudes in the NFL. Receptions, I mean, he leads the league hands down in terms of wide receivers. If you're talking about the best receiver in this game, definitely Michael Thomas. And with having Drew Brees as the quarterback, very dangerous. But if I had to just look at the whole wide receiving core in general, I'm going to have to give it to the 49ers just because Emmanuel Sanders, we all know what he stands for if you watch a lot of football. He had success everywhere from Pittsburgh to Denver, now to us. I mean, he's really a true #1 receiver. Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm pretty sure he's thankful to have him. Also, Deebo Samuel, a fearless guy like Richard Sherman calls him, and he definitely is fearless. And Kendrick Bourne, when he wants to turn it on, when he wants to catch balls, he is a very dangerous weapon for the 49ers as well. All of the talent above for the 49ers in terms of being able to just be reliable for the most part and being able to have a security blanket in Emmanuel Sanders with Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm going to give the edge to the 49ers wide receiving core. Some people might disagree, but still, I do love me my wide receiving core when they want to catch the ball and when they don't drop passes, which they have been good for the most part for the past couple of weeks now. So edge, San Francisco. Next up, let's talk about tight ends. Jared Cook, New Orleans Saints. George Kittle, 49ers, who to go for this one. I love me some Jared Cook. He has been very helpful for the New Orleans Saints offense, and just his whole career, he's been really reliable. He's played with Aaron Rodgers, now Drew Brees. He's been very good for both quarterbacks. But if I had to give the edge, I'm going to give it to George Kittle, my man. I mean, he's just one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Last game against the Ravens, he didn't have the best tight catch day or whatever. He didn't catch the ball too much, but he was a great blocker, and he was a big reason why Raheem Mostert had a great day against the Baltimore Ravens yesterday on Sundays. Edge, Kittle, versatile guy, can be a pass catcher, which I'm assuming he's going to be a very important part of this game just because it's the dome and there won't be any weather implications for this. So, edge, George Kittle, best tight end in the game. Last up, let's talk about the offensive line. 49ers versus Saints, who to go for this one. They have a pretty good offensive line. They have Teron Armstead, Ryan Ramczyk on the tackle side. They've been really great for this Saints team this year. For us, we've had Daniel Brunskill as our left tackle. Joe Staley, I don't know if he's going to be coming back yet. Mike McGlinchey, he did a really good job in the Ravens game, helping Raheem Mostert with George Kittle in the running game on the perimeter. So, who to go for this one? You know, if I had to give the edge, I would actually give it to the 49ers just because they've been really good at running the ball, and they're second in the league in rushing. So, I mean, that says a lot, quite a bit. I don't know. It's kind of weird that they're second in the league in rushing. They've struggled for the past couple of weeks, minus the Ravens game. I don't know. People have been loading up the box like crazy, but when they run the ball with, you know, our offensive line and Kyle Juszczyk along with them, I think it's a very potent and dangerous thing to look forward to. And also the Saints defense, they're a pretty good run defense. I think the third in the league in rushing, but hopefully with our offensive line, we can do some damage in the running game with Coleman, Breida, and Mostert. I mean, that's the good thing about having a running back by committee is you don't know which one's going to be going off. You don't know which one has the hot hand. Play the game and see what happens. So, edge, San Francisco offensive line, a lot of things going with Kyle Shanahan with his misdirection offense, and they're a big reason for it. So, got to give it to my 49ers and them boys. Okay, time for the defensive side of the ball. First off, let's talk about the defensive line. 49ers D-line versus the Saints D-line. Who to go for this one? Well, for me personally, I'm going to give it to the 49ers defensive line. Not hands down, not like for the past couple of weeks, but I think with the Saints defensive line, they can get to the quarterback. They're very crucial in what they do in their defense with Cam Jordan and Marcus Davenport, their boy. They can get to the quarterback just like us. But, you know, us in San Francisco, we can just get to the quarterback no matter what, and they will get pressure on you no matter what. Also, Drew Brees, he's a pocket passer. He's not a mobile quarterback, so they won't be having to worry about Brees running around like crazy like Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray. So hopefully that makes it a little bit easier. They did have their day against Aaron Rodgers a week or two ago on Sunday Night Football. Hopefully they have their game against the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans against Drew Brees. So defensive line, got to give them the edge. Nick Bosa and them boys, DeForest Buckner, they can eat all day, hopefully. So edge, San Francisco, but not hands down. Next up, linebacking core, 49ers versus Saints. Who to go for this one? Pretty tough one in my opinion. Who to go with? Actually, I'm going to give it to the 49ers for this one. AJ Klein, them boys, they can do some damage as well in the linebacking core, but I have to give it to Fred Warner. I mean, he's one of the best middle linebackers in the NFL, and he is really showing in the past couple of weeks now. The Packers game and the game against the Ravens, he is just making plays. And Dre Greenlaw and them boys, they're not slouches either. Warner, number 54, emerging as one of the best middle linebackers in the NFL. Hopefully he keeps it up in this game, and I expect him to make plays. Pass deflections, that's what I'm seeing from him. And hopefully he gets an interception because he's had a lot of almost interceptions, but he hasn't been able to get one quite a bit yet. So hopefully he gets one against Drew Brees. But yeah, Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw and them boys, I got to give him the edge for the linebacker position. Last up for the defensive side of the ball, let's talk about the defensive backs. Who to go for this one? Well, we got some very good cornerbacks in this case, we have Richard Sherman for us in San Francisco. New Orleans, they have Marshawn Lattimore, so that's very important to have. And they also have Marcus Williams. He's pretty good, but at the same time, remember what happened in the playoff game? I know it was a while back, but oh man, that was a pretty bad whiff on the play against Stephon Diggs in the playoff game, the Minneapolis Miracle. But hey, he's doing really good now, so just a little joke right there. Anyways, who else they have? They have Eli Apple. He's been doing pretty good in New Orleans. He struggled a little bit in New York when he got drafted, but now he's in a really good system with Dennis Allen as the defensive coordinator. They do take the ball away, and they can't take the ball away, but who to go for this one? Well, if I had to give it edge, I mean, Marshawn Lattimore, I love him. He does really good stuff for New Orleans. He's probably their best defensive back that they have, Pro Bowl, All-Pro guy. But I have to give it to my boys in San Francisco. I mean, the #1 passing defense, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. With Akella Witherspoon, Richard Sherman, Trukowski Tart, hopefully he's all right. And Jimmy Ward. Ward's been the biggest surprise all year long for me in the defensive backfield. So, edge San Francisco, #1 passing defense, and nobody can throw the ball on us at all. So, it's edge San Francisco. Although Drew Brees, he can change that really quickly, but I expect our defense to do really well on the defensive backfield. So San Francisco giving them the edge, Richard Sherman, them boys. Special teams, Robbie Gould versus Will Lutz, Thomas Morstead versus Mitch Wishnowsky, our rookie man, kick punter man, who's pretty damn good as a punter. Who to go for this one? Well, I'm going to give it to the New Orleans Saints almost hands down, just because Will Lutz, he's been having a really good year in New Orleans, and plus this is in the Dome, so it's pretty easy for him to kick. Robbie Gould should be easy as well, but he has been struggling for the past whole year in 2019, even before the injury. He's just been struggling a little bit. I know it's a little bit of the operations of the kick, but at the same time, I don't know. It's been a little iffy for him this year. And the Ravens game, I can't really fault him for that, but I have to give it to Will Lutz and Thomas Morstead. He's one of the best punters in the game, so you can't really deny that at all. So edge, special teams, I'm going to give it to New Orleans. And if it comes down to a last-second field goal, can I trust Robbie? Yes, but sometimes no this year. I don't know. Most of the time, I'm a hands-on yes. I would definitely trust Robbie, but I don't know this year. It's a little bit iffy for 2019. But Will Lutz, he could probably make something happen. Hoping we don't get miracleized again for the third time against Justin Tucker and Seattle's kickers. I'm going to give the edge to New Orleans for this one. And coaching, Kyle Shanahan versus Sean Payton, two of the best offensive minds in the NFL. Who to go for this one? Well, for this one, I'll actually go with Sean Payton just because he's a proven coach. He's won the Super Bowl. I know that's a long time ago, but he's just been able to do a lot of great things for the Saints, and to be able to do well with Teddy Bridgewater as the quarterback when Drew Brees was out, I thought that was just one of the great coaching jobs that I've seen in the NFL, along with Mike Tomlin with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's been doing great in the AFC side as well. But Sean Payton being able to adapt to another quarterback pretty quickly and go back to Drew Brees, I thought that was one of the great coaching jobs I've seen this year. So edge, definitely going to give it to Sean Payton, although Kyle Shanahan, I love me some Shanahan, but I don't know, sometimes he's a little too aggressive, and we saw that against the Ravens quite a bit, especially at the end of the game. But yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. Edge to edge, I think it's pretty evenly matched up for this game. I can't wait for this matchup. I wish this was a Sunday night game. I wish they would have flexed it, but hey, it is what it is. We get a 1 o'clock game in New Orleans, and hopefully we win this game and end the road trip with a victory. So yep, that's it, guys. Please let me know what you guys got for position edge. I'd like to hear what you have to say in the comments below. If you guys like this, please like and subscribe. That's going to help out a lot. I'll be catching you guys up tomorrow on a Tuesday for predictions. I'll see y'all then. Bye, guys. Love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Go Niners all day.